to you, Mac.
Hey, so,
That's Mac. I'm sorry, Mac from North Carolina. What's up, brother?
no, you good. I knew what you meant.
Okay.
Anyway, really want to say real quick, I think Dr. Dons was being a little bit of a hater because she was a lot of fingers at the porn industry. But I watch porn from time to time. I watch some of the stuff I don't watch. If I ain't into it, I don't watch it. The porn industry is like any other industry. There's a market for it. If there wasn't a market for it, they couldn't sell it. Unfortunately, there's a market for people pissing and shitting on each other or people gagging each other, because if there wasn't, they wouldn't sell it. And if they weren't selling it, they would stop making it because it wouldn't be profitable.
But just because there's a market, it doesn't necessarily mean that's something good for us. There's a market for crack. There's a market for heroin. There's a market for a whole bunch of stupid stuff.
Exactly.
There's a market for pedophilia. I mean, just because there's a market, it doesn't validate its existence. And there's a market for 50 Cent records.
Wow.
Let's keep going. I'm just saying. 877-210-6106 is the number to dial. Zoe Williams, voice of reason, Foxhole Radio, the pros and cons, peaks and pitfalls of adult film star relationships and their industry's effect on yours and mine. Somebody call me right now, 877-210-6106. That's the number to dial. Heard from Los Angeles. I heard you wanted to say something. Let's talk.
Yeah, I was just going off of what Deanna was talking about earlier, and kind of Gail. They were discussing about kind of the pros and cons about why women can't be kind of involved or be sexually active, and then that Deanna's one story about a young lady who needed $200 and they had to pay cheaper things, and then they were talking about moral compass of that. And I think Deanna hit it right on the nose when she was talking about there is no morality in business. And the concept of it is that pornography is a business, and the thing is that if you have a right price, you are willing to do anything. But then with the same thing with any industry, you're paying for a service.
Right.
And so it was just interesting when she said that, because when Gail was talking about that there should be some level of morality within that arena, within that realm.
Listen, pornography is the secret name, if you want to get religious, thank you for the call, is the secret name of the harlot who sits on the back of the beast in the book of Revelation. Harlot, pornography, right? So why would we seek to have some type of moral compass in a business that's not predicated on that? And when did sexuality become immoral? Was it in the garden? Right? Sometimes the religious beliefs are out of whack with reality. Somebody call in and talk to me about this. 877-210-6106. I mean, Kurt Franklin, right? One of the most religious, non-singingest, producing, hit-making dudes in the world, had a problem with pornography, the addiction to it, right? But is his addiction induced by human nature, or is his addiction induced by a religious dogma? Somebody call me, 877-210-6106. That's the number to dial. Do you know of a couple whose relationship is in trouble because of compulsive internet use, visiting porn sites? Somebody call me right now, 877-210-6106. That's the number to dial. Marcia from Texas, your time to holler.
Hello?
What up, Marcia?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just
Talk to
wanted to make a comment on what I thought about the pornography, the different acts that they perform in the movie. I mean, I watch pornography with my husband on occasion whenever we want to get in the mood. And, whenever I do watch it, I see scenes, where you see 2, 3, 4 guys with one woman. But my point is, why don't you ever see 5, 6, women with one man? It's a double standard. And I feel like it's just a form of degradation,
That does exist, and I want to know, and thank you for calling, by the way, and I do want to know why your husband is picking up movies with 5
But wait a minute, wait.
in it, and
Hold
one
on.
chick.
Hold on. Let me.
And the reverse does exist.
Let me back Marcia on this. The reverse exists in the sense that there is one dude with 4 or 5 girls, but he's having a great time, whereas the one woman is being pile drived to death by a gang of dudes. It's different. With a guy, it's like, hey, it's your turn. Doo-doo-doo. And while I'm with her, you can, lick and bite and tickle or do whatever you want to do. But with the girl, it's a penis in the mouth. It's a penis in the anus. It's a penis in the vagina. It's some other dude giggling on the side and waiting his turn. It's really just a cacophony of foolishness if you really look at it.
Very jail-like.
Yeah, a woman has to take on, to me, a lot more than a dude. A dude is, I'm in heaven. I've got multiple women, and it's just me.
But I think that you can turn that on its head as well, because I've shot scenes with a girl and multiple guys, and the whole thing was the woman was going to take on each guy and drain them. Like it was a challenge for her.
So she's a succubus.
She was actually the protagonist, as it were.
I got it. I got it.
So there is that power play on the other side as well. It's harder to find, surely, because it's harder to do. And anything that's hard to do, we don't do. We don't like to work hard. We're lazy.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. We got to take another quick break. Are you waging an internal moral war with yourself because of your unspoken love of pornographic material? You better call me. 877-2-106-106 is the number to dial. I got to take a quick break. The pros and cons, peaks and pitfalls of adult film star relationships and their effects on yours and mine. You better call me. 877-2-106-106. That's the number to dial. I'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoe Williams has returned. Zometheus Rising, Foxhole Radio, Sirius 106 XM 149. Tonight's topic, the pros and cons, peaks and pitfalls of adult film star relationships and their industry's effect on yours and mine. I want to welcome back all the new listeners who just tuned in. This is the most compelling relationship talk show, radio show in the world. We have to push the envelope. Sometimes we add a little bit of humor just to get it going, but all of the topics are serious and thought-provoking. This is what we do. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm here every Thursday at the Foxhole, and we get down just like this. So we got more callers. I've got more questions. Can you imagine being raised by an adult film star? What would your childhood be like? And what happens when you come into the knowledge of what mommy or daddy does for a living? How can we afford these Jordans? And you stumble into the stash, and it's mama. What kind of sexual imprint is on you now? Somebody call me, 877-2-106-106. Like I said, are you having a moral dilemma? Are you, is your relationship suffering because of your dependence, right, on pornographic material? They say porn operates on the same region of the brain that cocaine, heroin, and all of these other highly addictive drugs operate on, the limbic system of the brain, right? And within the limbic system, there is the hippocampus, where your memories are. So what they're saying is, once you get locked into porn, the memory of those scenes continue to play out while you're in, physical, sexual action with your woman. So really you're disconnected because you're thinking about that, as opposed to really being connected to her. So there's no intimacy there. And they're saying, it's a real problem for a lot of people. Now, the limbic system of the brain is the old portion of the brain, what they call the reptilian portion of the brain. And the new portion of the brain, the neocortex, is the reasoning rationale. And they're saying all addiction starts in the limbic system of the brain. So with that said, it turns into a compulsion, an instinctual compulsion. The limbic system deals with survival, avoidance of pain, pursuit of pleasure, right? It deals with some basic, primal drives. And once you get porn locked into the system, now the limbic system of the brain tries to take over the neocortex, right? And what they try to do is teach people the functionality of the brain. They say you have two brains. You got to use your reasoning rational brain, which is the neocortex, to talk to the, okay, that's a trigger, right? That's an urge right there. And you have to acknowledge, well, I got stimulated, I got triggered, and it's okay. I don't have to act on it. So what they're trying to do is teach people to develop their reasoning and rationale when urges manifest. Because if that portion of the brain is underdeveloped, they just act on the urges just like animals. See, that's what they're talking about when we're talking about addiction. And it isn't just porn, it's any kind of addiction. Let me go to callers. Wing